Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to Xbox On. Our wallets have only just recovered from last week's amazing back compat sale, and now there's another opportunity to save some money on some awesome games. This week you can buy loads of Microsoft published games with up to 75% off. I've gone through the deals on offer to pick out some of the savings you'd be mad to miss. First up, Microsoft revs up its Lancer and slices Gears of War 4's price right down the middle. That leaves a tiny price for a massive game. You're getting 3 great modes here. There's the campaign, which cleverly introduces a new cast of characters, while making sure long-term fans get to see their old favourites. Then there's the revamped Horde mode, which adds distinct character classes that give you your survival attempts a much deeper tactical edge. And finally, you have that killer multiplayer gameplay, whether you're playing wilder game types like gun game or diving into the tense firefights of the competitive scene. This feels like the most generous Gears package yet. Of course, all the modes are even better when played with a friend, either in couch co-op or online. So why not use the sale to make sure all your mates have a copy too? If you want even more Gears action but want something a little bit more traditional, you can also pick up Gears of War Ultimate Edition for half price. This remaster was designed to ease the Coalition into Xbox One development, and it's clear that they really took to the hardware. It's the game you know and love from the Xbox 360, but given a gorgeous layer of polish. One of my favourite Xbox memories is playing through the Gears campaigns in couch co-op with my brother, so it was great to play through this once again. I was especially impressed with the cutscenes, which have been totally redone and look amazing. For £15 you can enjoy a walk down memory lane, and if you've never played it before, you owe it to yourself to try this Xbox classic. Halo 5 Guardians is another massive game getting a massive price cut. A huge 60% has been slashed off. If you haven't already bought Halo 5, you are now getting a game that is bigger than ever before. Since release, 343 Industries have added loads of new maps and modes to Deathmatch and Warzone. If you haven't already tried Warzone, this is a great chance to play one of the craziest game modes in Halo history. It's a massive team game set across large sandboxes, more like Battlefield than older Halo games. Everyone's hurling themselves around in vehicles, and the unlock system means the available weapons get bigger and better as every match unfolds. You have to try it when you also add Forge mode to the mix, packed with hundreds of maps and match types. It's going to take months to play through all of this. Maybe you don't want to spend all your time getting owned by players online. If you'd rather something more story driven, you should definitely give Quantum Break a go. It's made by Remedy, who gave us Max Payne and Alan Wake. If you enjoyed Max Payne's bullet time, you'll get a kick out of Quantum Break as you have even more control over time. You can slow time down to run circles around your enemies, or freeze soldiers in a time bubble and fill them full of bullets before time kicks back in again. But this is also a game with an amazing story, as you try to stop a former friend from ripping time apart. In some sections of the game, you even get to play as the villain, making decisions that have an impact on the later story. If you like tales that really mess with your head, this is definitely for you, and it's only a tiny bit more expensive than a cinema ticket. With a new State of Decay on the horizon, now's a great time to start practicing your zombie slaying tricks. This is the Xbox One update of the Xbox Live Arcade Classic. It bundles the game with its 2 pieces of DLC. Firstly, Lifeline, which is a new chunk of story, while Breakdown is an endless survival mode that puts everything you've learned to the test. The thing I really love about State of Decay is how it handles death. When you die in this game, your character is gone for good, and you switch to a fellow survivor instead. Each survivor has different traits, so you end up having to adapt to playing as lots of different people. It's a great way of making every life feel important, and to make you feel terrible when you accidentally let a zombie chomp on their necks. All this for £6.60, you'd have to be a dumb zombie to miss out. If you want to try something totally different, why not take a look at Dark Dreams Don't Die? It's quite a difficult game to explain without sounding totally unhinged, but you play as a private investigator who is trying to find out who killed his wife, but instead of visiting crime scenes like a normal cop, he can use evidence from crimes to travel back in time and relive the moments. It's a weird idea, but it is even weirder in motion. In just the opening hour alone, you will have to stroke an owl, eat a whole load of seafood, and explore an aeroplane on a doomed flight. The characters are all really strange as well, and for reasons that never really become clear, our hero is followed by a giant holding a knife and fork. If you're currently watching the new series of Twin Peaks, this game is probably for you, and for a tiny £3, isn't it worth trying something a little different? If all this talk of slash prices and special offers makes you want to go on a shopping spree, then I have the perfect game for you. Dead Rising 4 takes the legendary Frank West and takes him back to the town where his adventures began. Back in Willamette, there's a whole new shopping mall to explore, as well as the huge town around it. This is not a game that believes that less is more. There are crazier combo weapons to make, there are more zombie-chewing vehicles to build, and there are the biggest zombie crowds you've ever seen in a game. Best of all is the exosuit, a giant suit of power armor that gives Frank the power of Halo's Spartans. You'll be tearing zombies in half and hitting them with street signs in no time. And if you've already been smashing your way around town, the season pass is also on special offer, adding some great story content to the end of the game. I had an absolute blast with Halo Wars 2 when it arrived back in February. The campaign is filled with epic moments and the cutscenes are so well made they could be a standalone movie. If you've ever been undecided about whether to get the game, a saving of 35% may help to convince you. What's great about this sequel is the way it makes strategy gaming more accessible. It's a genre most people associate with hardcore PC gaming, but the game is very user-friendly with controls that cleanly map onto the Xbox controller and a new blitz mode that removes base management to focus on throwing massive armies of units at each other. And if you've got an Xbox One S and a 4K TV, now is a great time to dive in as the game has just been patched to include HDR support, meaning these colors will really pop. If Lydia was here rather than just swanning about on holiday, then she'd be screaming at you to buy Rise of the Tomb Raider, and she'd totally be right. It's one of the best adventures on Xbox One, taking the classic action and platforming of the reboot, but adding a bigger dose of survival smarts. This time, Lara is in the frozen wildlands of Siberia, a world where she is just as likely to be eaten by a bear as be killed by enemy forces. It's also one of the best looking games on Xbox One. It's probably worth the asking price just to marvel at Lara's amazing hair tech. I'd also recommend picking up the season pass, which is also on sale for £5. It includes some great new modes and missions, including a level where you explore Croft Manor. If you remember this from the original Tomb Raider games, then it's definitely worth a visit. Last but definitely not least is the incredible Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition. Our editor Matt thinks this is the best game on Xbox One, and he makes a very strong case for it. It's a classic 2D platformer in the style of Metroid or Castlevania. As you explore Ori's forest home, you collect new powers that allow you to reach even tougher areas. It may look like a children's cartoon come to life, but this game can really kick your ass. It has some brutally tough platforming and chase sequences that will test even the most experienced gamers. If you've got real guts, you can even try to beat the game in one life mode, a sign of a true Ori master. It has some of the best art design and music that we've ever seen, and £8 is a bargain for Moon Studios' magic masterpiece. So those are the deals that you'd be crazy to miss out on in the Microsoft Publisher Sale. There are so many more on offer, so do make sure to let us know in the comments if there's anything we should check out. Also, if you enjoyed the video, drop the video a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!